Duran.
It is.
Christopher Walken was the star of the film.
He was, yes.
Roger Moore and Grace Jones.
Grace Jones was in that one. Yeah, that was when he flew off the Eiffel Tower.
That's right.
And there was also the San Francisco scenes as well. With
Yes, there were.
With the Zeppelin.
Absolutely.
It was a good one, actually. That.
It was great. Yeah,
it was one of my favourite Roger Moore films.
Right.
Now, the reason we're doing that
Silicon Valley.
is because we're doing our three favourite views for Listography.
Yes.
And Paul Flanagan suggested that. So thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
We'll do our favourite things about Scotland coming up on Thursday.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes. Good idea.
Because we'll be there on Friday. Now, do you want to kick off with your first favourite?
No, go on. You kick off with your first.
Well, I'm going to have to say the Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal.
Yeah, the Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal.
Because when you sit, you know that famous picture of Diana.
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, she was sitting on
that
a bench about
right?
a mile in front of the Taj Mahal.
Just before you go to that bench.
Yes.
Just before you emerge from the inside of sort of where, the other side of the building.
Yes.
You're suddenly brought out into this incredible sunshine. Obviously, it's very.
It's very sunny in India most of the time.
Apart from the monsoon season, obviously.
Yeah,
you know, you've forgotten about that. And you haven't been to India?
No, I've been to Pakistan.
No. Yeah, well, it's not
Keep
the same.
telling you that. Well, it used to be.
Well, it used to be before 1947.
Yeah, that's right. Now it's a partition country.
Yeah. Well, not now. It has been since 1947.
All right. Well, can you get on with it?
Anyway, do you know that every single thing inside the Taj Mahal is symmetrical? Everything.
Well, it was a mausoleum to a rich businessman's wife, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Yes.
But the only one thing that isn't symmetrical is the actual inside of the chamber. You know why?
Why?
Because even though he set it up so that his wife was buried right in the middle, his name was Shah Jahan, right?
Yeah.
His wife is buried right in the middle. He decided when he died that he wanted to be next to her.
Oh.
And it's the one thing inside the entire complex that is not symmetrical.
And is he dead yet?
What do you mean, is he dead yet?
Well, I mean...
Because he's been dead for hundreds of years.
I see, sorry, yeah.
When he died, he wanted to be in the same
That's what I mean.
temple.
So that is now occupied.
Yes.
So it is now symmetrical because there's two of them in there.
No, because it was built around one coffin.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
So everything is built around
that one
coffin.
He built it around two to make it look better.
Because at the time he didn't think that was what he wanted to do.
Oh, well, you see, there you go. So you should have got it right.
Yeah.
Right, okay. That's
your take on the Taj Mahal.
What?
He should have got it right.
Well, you know, it's a world-famous building.
Unbelievable.
World-famous building. Now,
that's my first one.
Okay, my first one is Slough Reservoir.
Reservoir?
Yeah.
Slough Reservoir?
Yeah. No, hang on.
Are you having a laugh?
No.
Is that a place that you see from the M4 where they jet ski around?
No. Where you see it from is you see it from British Airways Jumbo Jet as you're coming into Heathrow and you're coming back from America.
Slough Reservoir?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite views because what you do is, you know, you're doing all the banking.
Usually when you fly back into Heathrow, though, it's all so cloudy.
Yeah, well...
The clouds are down at about 7,000 feet.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Then all of a sudden you break through the cloud base, right? And boom, there you look below you and you actually see Slough Reservoir. That is the first... well, actually, one time I came through, and guess what I saw before Slough Reservoir? Windsor Castle.
Really?
Yeah, Windsor Castle. So Windsor Castle, Slough Reservoir next to each other. It's what it is. It's the great view of back in Blighty. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's your second one?
Yes, my second
one. Sorry, that's your first one.
That's the first one. It's the second one we've talked about.
My second one is similarly connected to an airport. But it is actually New York City Airport, JFK.
Yes.
When you drive in a taxi.
I totally agree.
As you're coming in from Queens.
I was going to nominate it as well.
I knew you would, but as we've got in
first. I know, and you come up over the rise and you see Manhattan.
Just as you're coming in towards the Midtown Tunnel,
exactly.
The road rises up, and the whole of Manhattan Island is out there in front of you.
It's incredible.
And even talking about it gives me a chill. I mean, you and I spent many years there.
Yes, that's right.
And even though I went back there in May, I went to see my sister and my mother.
Yeah.
And it's just one of the most fantastic views of all time. I mean, different now because the Trade Centre, of course, has been replaced by the Freedom Tower.
Yeah.
But just still fantastic.
And also prefer it on a cold autumn or winter's day when the sky is so clear blue. You know what I mean? Just love it. But I totally agree. Yeah. But my second one is going to be Goodison Park, okay?
Right.
Because I don't get to Everton as often as I'd love to.
One of the oldest stadiums in the country.
One of the most famous, certainly. And Everton has spent more years in the top league than
I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
I mean, it's one of the few that has not been rebuilt or added to or anything like that.
The thing is, you jump in a taxi outside Lime Street Station, you know, Lime Street made famous by the Beatles song, you know, oh, dirty Maggie May, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
Have so much singing.
And then you get down Everton Valley, you come off from Everton Valley and you go down past the cemetery, and then looming up in front of you is huge stand, huge main stand built in 1970.
Yeah.
You know, Goodison Park, the home of Everton Football Club.
Yeah.
And it's magnificent. The People's Club.
Yeah.
It's got written on the side. And that always makes my heart skip. It skips like mad.
Okay.
And I love it. And then you get out and you smell all the things that you smell around football stadiums, chips and hamburgers and people shuffling around and carrying programmes and whistles and bells. bells and everything. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay. Now, what I forgot to say before we started this is that it's currently going out live on Facebook and Periscope. So if you go to look for Talk Radio's Periscope account and or the Facebook account, you can watch this as it's happening.
Excellent.
As well as listening to it at the same time. Now, my final one is going to have to be golf related, I think.
Right.
And there are so many great views in so many great golf courses around the world.
Yeah.
But my favourite one, and I'm not going to call it the new name, because the new name has a connection with the prospective President of the United States.
Right, okay.
Turnberry.
Turnberry, okay.
Turnberry Golf Club.
You're not going to call it Trump Turnberry?
No, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Right, okay.
I don't want to call it that because I refuse to call it that. It's a bit like calling the St James's Park, you know, the whatever it was, Sports Direct Stadium.
Sports Direct,
We're not going with that.
Okay.
But you play down the first, you play up the second, you play down the third, you get to the fourth hole, which is a short hole, but the tee is elevated.
Yes.
And you're right on the beach, basically.
Yes.
And to your left is the gleaming sort of sea, and then you see Ailsa Craig, the big rock, which is home to just puffins and nothing else. You look to the right and you see the magnificent Turnberry Hotel, which is an old railway hotel. And it's just beautiful. And the golf course is magnificent, and whether it's, I mean, ideally it's a sunny day. It's always quite windy, but it is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life.
I'm sure you're right.
And that's my third one.
Okay, so my third one is going to be the trip over Westminster Bridge.
Okay.
Because the views on all sides
are
magnificent. You're coming over Westminster Bridge, and in front of you on your left, you've got one of the most magnificent buildings in the world.
Well, which way are you going?
I'm going over to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, so you're going north?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Because, of course, if you're coming over from the north, your view is of what used to be the GLC.
Yes, of course it is, yeah. Well, I'm saying you're passing the GLC on your right, right? That's now a Marriott Hotel and other things.
It's an aquarium, I think.
An aquarium, you're quite right, yeah. You've got the House of Parliament on the other side, one of the most magnificent and iconic buildings in the world. But it's when you're halfway across and you look right and left, up and down the river, that you see the true majesty of London and what it's all about. And that view can't be better down, I don't think, anywhere in the world. That makes me feel really like how lucky I am to live in this part of the world and to have been, you know, like living it for the last 30 years.
And when was the last time you walked over it?
I walk over it quite regularly, actually. I walk over it quite regularly because I can then go to Westminster Tube Station and get the last leg of my journey up to Victoria Station to get home.
Oh, yeah, on the Circle Line.
On the Circle Line, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I can get there by walking down the river from here, actually. If you go here from across Stamford Street.
So past the London Eye.
Exactly, absolutely right.
Yeah, very nice. Well, those are pretty good, actually. I would say all 6 of those I would commend highly.
Yes.
As unfortunately, as you know, this is not actually a competition.
No.
It's just an experience.
It's the one you've left out.
No, I've done Turnberry, I've done Manhattan, and I've done
the one I've left out, you see, was going to be a tribute to you.
Was it?
I was going to say the view from the restaurant that I took you to last week in New York.
That was amazing.
Utterly magnificent.
Yeah, it was.
So much blue sea. I've never seen such an expansive blue sea in my life. Yeah. Magnificent.
It was incredible, and what a place. And the thing I'm amazed about is that nobody has ever told me about this place.
No.
You know, because we kind of know about the night manager.
You see, when I take you out for lunch, I take you somewhere special, you see.
Well, you didn't organise that.
Well, I did. I got people to organise it.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Right.
Yes,
well, the thing is that, you know, the place in Daya, which is on the other side of the island, where everybody knows from the night manager, is actually, I mean, it's a wonderful setting, but it's a very pokey place compared to the place we went to.
Indeed, I agree.
You know, which has got this lavish kind of swimming pool up there. It's much higher than the one in Daya. And in fact, I mean, I suppose they like the idea that you can go by boat to the one in Daya.
That's right, yeah.
But I would urge them, if they do another series, if he's still in Mallorca,
go to this
they should go to this place.
I totally agree.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that was Listography then.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And I guess we can move on to something else now.
Of course we can move on to something else.
We haven't got a break for a little while.
No. Talking about taking you to a restaurant, right, and having a great dinner, a great lunch, or long lunch as you wanted.
Yeah.
I've read a ridiculous report that the Sunday roast in this country is losing popularity.
Yes.
Now I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute.
Well,